Here we are in part number 2 of building this here Tyco Expander Systems layout. The dream layout from 1977. We all stared at this for months and months or years and years, always dreaming of one day doing it, having it. Well, I'm doing it now. Today we're going to be doing the track work, getting the top of the deck painted, getting some track laid down so we can start building this awesome looking empire right here. I'm Ron with Classic Model Trains. Stick around, I'll show you how I'm getting her done. It's Monday right now, and we're getting ready to paint the top part right here. When I was nailing the board on, this piece of plywood, for some reason, it is 8 foot and 1/8 of an inch long. And I know this because I measured it. I made the frame at 8 feet, and this overhang here is going to just annoy my ADHD elemental. So I'm going to roll this thing out because I don't want to cut in here and make dust like that. Fold it up, out the door, down on the ground, cut it, sand it, and bring it back in so we can get it ready to paint. Let me show you what I got set up over here to make a nice straight cut line. So we got the plunge depth where just the tooth just barely comes down because I really don't want to cut into this if I cut in too short. This is a rip, I don't know what this is called, rip fence, I guess, for the saw. So you set that. When the saw is going to bite in, it's just going to bite right on that line. And then I don't have to worry about holding my hands super steady to try to cut this. So let's see if this is going to work out as nice as I hope that it's going to. But if it don't, then I have a plan B to take a belt sander out after it and clean it up some if I really bugger it. And wouldn't you know it, I didn't take off enough. So I'm going to reset it and do it again until I get it right. Well, if you're going to be consistent, consistently mess up. The first time I didn't cut it short enough, and this time I cut it too short. But I did cut it perfectly straight and too short, all the way across. And I think this is why they built trim, because the fascia piece that comes up will cover that up. Okay, let's get it back inside the building. I just got this opened up here. Sure. I gotta get all this scraped off. Ick. Stir this up. Oh, that's like peanut butter. And that's what I like about water-based paint is I can add a bunch of water, and I want this to run like milk is what I'm gonna do to it. So that way I don't have any ripping drippings in there. So I'm gonna work on this for a while before we get ready to put it down. I put 1 cup of water in it. We had about a quarter of this container was full. And when you mix it, you want to drag across the bottom and lift it up like this, because you can stir it like this, but that doesn't work as effective. Plus it puts bubbles in it. All the heavier pigments and stuff are at the bottom, so I'm scraping the bottom. Yeah, I've got some of those fancy little squirrel cage things you put on a drill, and but then I gotta clean that, and I'm just not in the mood. Everything about painting I hate. I'm gonna put another cup of water in, because you see how slow this is. Kind of like it's almost melted milkshake right here, and we want thinner, almost like I could put it through a spring. What is that? Good Lord. 2.5 cups of water. So now we're at about 2/3 of paint, in this can here. I thought I've got all those scraped out of there. I guess I missed some more. Golly. I'm gonna start putting this down and see if there's not any brush strokes in it, and just paint until my little heart wants to explode. Now this little destruction sheet that I found online, it gives a track, where the pieces go, and it also tells you what you need. So I rooted through my collection of stuff because I keep all this organized and clean, and I found almost everything except for 2 left-hand switches. But we're going to take this stuff because it's dirty. It's got the funk on it, and I'm going to ultrasonic it. I got a 50-50 solution of simple green in the tank now. I'm not going to use baggies to do this because it always tears up the baggies. We're going to run it at about 90 degrees for about 10 minutes. I suppose there'll be about 4 or 5 batches. Lay them out over here, and then we'll be able to start doing a little bit of track work. Here's the first coat of paint right here that's blotchy and drying. But when we get close, it doesn't look like it's gonna have any brush marks in it. Ended up taking 3 cups of water to thin that paint out. Unbelievable. So waiting for time. To another coat of brown. We'll hit a coat of black on the edges just to make it look pretty while we're building it before the fascia gets put on. So here's what our track looks like coming out of the ultrasonic cleaner. It's clean, but you know, they're still gonna need the top surface probably whooped into shape. Maybe I'll put them in some vinegar or something like that to get them better. But they're a consistent color. I threw everything in. These guys, they went in, everybody goes in. As long as you get them dried out, they're not gonna corrode. I got this big beefy thing right here. It's a straight edge. I think it's used for cutting linoleum or carpet or something like that. It came from my dad's tools, his estate tools. I'm gonna get some center lines, draw it in right down the center of this thing and down the center going this way so I can measure and put stuff in. Because I gotta put the track down and then I'm gonna draw lines around it like the roadbed and then pull the track up so it won't be nailed and then paint it and then put the track back down. Sure. And then maybe we'll ballast them just really lightly after it's all said and done. But I'm going to start trying to see and put the layout and tracks on it and get some locomotives running as soon as possible. Hopefully, that's the plan. I already scratched my paint job. This thing's got a hook on it. Something's hanging out, just some. 24. Just went back over here a little bit. This line is dark and it'll be painted over as time goes by. But we got to get all the measurements off of it. It's going to help with the entire layout. I think I want to put some across this way. Put it at 2, 4, 6. Put the grids down, yes. Yeah. Since I don't know where the track ends at this end right over here, we know each one of these straight pieces is 9. And they're using 3 of these, and these are 18-inch radiuses. So I counted up all there's 6 of these over here, or 9-inch straights. The switches are 9 inches straight also, or they take up 9, length. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 9, 54 is what I last checked. 54. Divide that thing in 2. 27 inches. Here's our center line. So we come up 27 inches and put a little mark there. That's where our radius is going to start. Our 18-inch radius. And we know it starts 9 inches off the center line because they've got a 9-inch piece of straight track here in the corners. So I could literally take this, come out to here, 27 inches away. Well, the length from here to here with the string, draw it, and that'll give me my radius center line of the curves. I'll show you this. Right here's our 27 inches. This is where the radius is going to start at. So we need 18 inches on this. Right there. 18 inches. So right here is the center line. Here's our start point. So if I put this here, I'm going to rotate it around here. And I'm going to come up like this. Right now we're at a 90-degree angle, and that is where the track center line is going to be. Put this little filler on, and they got these circles right in the center, where you nail this down at. And this is going to tell me exactly where this track will lay. And it's unbelievably close to the edge, which I don't really like. I'm gonna do the same thing over here, and this will get this radius laid out. We're starting to get the track in. And now you can see I've drawn out all our layout lines for this layout. Well, this outer loop right here. Coming around 18-inch radiuses, 9-inch straight section, 18-inch radius coming back around. These are my indicators. 27 inches up is where this is going to start at, off of the center line. Here's the center line of our outside track. There we are, picking this feller up right there. Right there's the nail. You can see the center line nail hole, because I'm just tacking it down. I got to pick it up. See, I'm nailing right on that center line. And this is how you would lay it out also if you wanted to put cork down. You put your 2 pieces of cork down, and it would be, centered on this. And then you would nail your track down right on the center of the cork. I like my track to be just as absolutely straight as possible. So after all the measurements that I've taken that have mostly all been off by 1/8 of an inch, I found doing this little thing here so that all the track is in the exact same length from the edge. Right now I'm just tacking it in. I'm not even putting these nails all the way down because I'm going to use this as a guide to paint my road base. And then you see when you get done, you've got tracks that are relatively straight. What is this? What the heck? Why? When I go to really put it in, I'll use one of these that'll lay on the track. Then that way you can get everything really, really straight with this 9-inch preform stuff. Here's our other side going on over here. Sure, that one's coming in straight. I had to move this radius in because I was off. Can we even see that? Where are we at here? See, I was off by about 1/4 inch. And the reason that I was off is that I knew my pivot point for my 18-inch radius was right here. And I measured out here, but then I just randomly drew the line, and I should have measured from here up 18 inches. So that way when I got done with the arc of my line on my string and my pencil, my little makeshift compass, that I would have known if I was on or off. So there's a few things that I've blowed. I blew this one over here also by this exact same amount. These right here are supposed to be all the way in. I had them sticking out some. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they design a layout that has the switches sticking out? And I followed my measurements and found out I was off by 1/8 of an inch. This is day 2 right now, and I'm just going to keep plowing this main loop on, and then the inner loop, which will go over there, and then the bypass, which I believe goes right in through here, so I can start painting some road base. I get a lot of emails every week about people that want to promote their products on my channel. And I don't do it because, for one, I haven't found a product that I think is worth anything to promote on the channel. And then I realized I've got a really important product that I should promote on the channel, Classic Model Trains World. I think the most important one is our members that are out there. They're providing the most amount of extra income that comes into the channel, well, week to week or month to month. I want to thank everybody that does support the channel through our memberships. It's all through YouTube. There's a join button at the bottom of the videos, every one of them. Click in and it'll describe how that works, how it breaks down. People are always asking me, how do I become a member? That's what you got to do. You got to be subscribed first to become a member. That generates lots of extra income, and it helps support the $1 club layout for the storage of the building that it's in right now. Another thing that we do to support the endeavors that I've got right here is my coffee cups, the 33%ers, the 33% coffee cups. Those you have to send an email to me, classicmodeltrains@aol.com, because I need to know your city and state that you live in so I can print those out. And I've also got other cups available on the eBay store. The Mad Chicken Model Railroad the way I want. Plus I'm making these things called the Rare Series with the Tyco stuff. If you're looking for a specific cup, drop me a line, email me, I could print one up. Check out the cups. They are a little more expensive on the eBay than if you called me up directly because eBay fees, 38% gross is what they take. Another thing that I got going on is the Amazon Associates program. A lot of people are always asking me, where do you get that? Where do you get this? What do you use? Beneath every video in the description section, click it open. It's got all the links to all the tools that I've used. I get most of my stuff through Amazon and eBay. That's the only 2 places that I buy stuff. If you go to one of these Amazon links and you end up buying something, they kick back a little small percentage, 2-3%. It doesn't cost you anything extra. These are the ways that you guys can help support the channel. Subscribe, ring the bell, hit the notifications, hit the thumbs up, leave comments. You can become a member. You can purchase stuff through the Amazon Associates links that are in the description section of the videos. You can purchase things through the eBay store or through me directly. I appreciate all the support out there. I'm going to try to see if we can do this full time coming up this year now. We're about halfway through the video right now. It is an excellent time to do Classic Model Trains, Classic Model of the Week. Do you guys know who this is? If you do, type it in the comments down below. If you don't, hang out till the end. I'll let you know who it is. Let's get back into working on this stuff. Putting the circle in here, I want it to be, of course, straight, square, level. I put the turnout in, and I measured from the inner rail to the edge, 3 1/4 over here, 3 1/4, and then I put this one on 3 1/4, so that way I know this is parallel with this. Got a nail in right here, 18 inches. I put a pivot nail in. Then I measured out over this way, 18. So I know it's going to end up right there. I know that this is sticking up a 1/2 inch from this line, so I did the same thing there. I measured up to 18 for over here, and I'm going to expect that radius to show up right there. So if I do my cards right, I'm going to come around. I landed right where I wanted to right there. There's my radius. Landed here where I wanted it to. Came up right here. The other side, we're going to put 2 pieces of straight in, then the full radius. And since I've got all this here kind of locked in, this is just a circle, and then I just make it fit. Extra time, making sure it looks good, because it's got to look good forever. And after just a few short hours, maybe 3, 4 hours, this is the layout. This is what it would have looked like, but it's super boring right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tape off both sides of the track, put another one inside here, and paint this gray to make a road bed. Because you can see on this one here that they've got something going on under there. Looks like they just put it on the mains, because this center one is a spur. So I'm going to do that, tape it and paint it. And I'm just gonna, of course I get bored with doing it all at once, so I'm just gonna take parts apart, tape it, paint it, put it back together, tape it, paint it, put it back together, and just keep kind of working like that on it. Some apple barrel from the Walmart section there. The old tape is taped off here. I'm gonna brush it. I'm just trying it out. We're not gonna use cork because the original layout didn't have cork on it, and the accessories won't work because the cork is not, okay, it's just no. This is what we're gonna do. See how it works. Oh, sure. Yeah. So if you look at this image right here, you can see that their road base, they've done something to it. It's a 2-tone paint job. And just because it's been done doesn't mean it's a good idea, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it myself. So here's what the gray looks like. And then I've got a sponge that I cut a little piece out of. And I'm just doing just a little bit of dry. And you put it over here to get some of the pats out. And then you give it some of this. Rotating. This is just giving it more color. And eventually I'll probably end up putting some actual real ballast down on the track. But it's going to be a very long time before I do that. Because we have to get it running and model it. And you got to make sure that you're not going to change anything or pull out a switch or pull out a turnout because you didn't like the way it looks. There's just lots of variables. Hopefully it'll look a little better once I get the track on it because it looks kind of funny now. we'll wait and see what happens. Sometimes it just seems a feller can't get a break. This was a premium painter's tape from the Ace right there. It even says it. And look what it did. It seeped out. Some of the road bed is in as I take it apart a little bit. Now I found it easier just to draw the track. I just drag a pencil along the edge so I get this kind of effect right here. And then I tape it. Then I do the 2 features to it here. Kind of an assembly line kind of thing. It makes a mess once you got everything all put together and then you take it apart and you got track pieces laying all over the place and tools. A bit at a time is all I'm doing. Work on this end over here. Then I'll finish off that outside loop. Then I'll do the inside loop all at once. And then I've gone through and nailed all this down. Wherever there's a hole for the pin, I put it in. So it's tightened down there. Now people are wondering about expansion. Well, once it's all nailed down and it's all tight, then I'm going to take a little saw and I'm going to put in some relief cuts in here to allow the track to expand so that it doesn't bind up once it's all said and done. And I'm also installing pieces that go underneath the track for the accessories. I'm putting them in now so I don't have to pull the track up later on. Now you can see this where it weeped out at. I guess I was to paint brown, tape it, paint the brown to seal it. I think I'll try that actually. Guys tell me that that's the way to go. Seals the tape to the paint. It's one extra step I hate because I hate painting anyway. but I gotta come by and I gotta paint all this up by hand. I gotta clean it up. So one way or another, I'm gonna paint. So I'm gonna try that out. I'm gonna tape it, paint it brown, let it dry, and then it's getting 3 coats of gray, and then it gets 1 coat of this white, patting it on the top. Sounds like I got a plan. What is today? This is Wednesday. So we're at the top of day 3, I guess it is. We're into day 3, a few hours, but I'm gonna try that out. All right, first coat of brown is on. I think I'll do 2, just to make sure it's sealed up. Then 3 coats of gray. I'll let you know how it goes. Now I guess I have a break for 20 to 30 minutes while this dries. Look at this. Them fellers that told me to paint the brown color down first, there were several guys that did it. You can drink beer out of my fridge anytime. Absolutely. Painting the brown before, not painting the brown before. We're gonna peel that off, and then let the white dry, and then we're gonna keep nailing track down. Well, that should be a nice end to day number 3 right there. Finally, all the ballast is painted, so I can go to bed. Do this tomorrow. Good night. Next day's here, and I've been busy laying this track in. I never showed anybody, what I used to nail it. These little nails right here. And if you get really close, you can see there's a little hole, and I just stab it in. And then I've got just the smallest little, this is, I don't know, I think this is a cobbler hammer, to tell you the truth. I found it something. Tap these down, doesn't jiggle back and forth, don't want to push it in too far. And if there's a hole, I'm putting a nail in it. Everywhere around here. Now you can pull these back out, if you decided that you got to get back in there. With one of these here, these are used for cutting the rails. And you just get down in there and you grab that head and just do some pulling up like this, and the nail will come right back out. So it's not like it's that permanent. Is it glued down? No, because I changed my mind a lot. So I don't ever want to make track work permanent. If there was cork roadbed under here, I would nail the cork roadbed down using the same nails. And then of course I'd use a little longer nail to nail the track in. I don't glue this because you've always got to change something, or you make your mind go a different direction or whatever have you. I've started putting some of the accessories on it. This thing will not stay. I'm gonna have to nail that thing down. Every time I walk by it, my shirt moves it. Track is in. Track is doing what it's supposed to do. I still got my guidelines on it. The center piece and the 2 foot, the 4 foot. And the reason for that is because of this right here. This tells you how to lay out the streets. And I've pretty much stuck with it, but I decided, because they say that these are 3 inches wide, and I wanted to make the main boulevard through here 5 inches wide, so you could have, off-street parking. And I've scribbled in the lines. You can kind of see them roughly in there. Here's the main street going this way, and these are the center lines going through it. And then of course I drew a couple lines wrong because that's the rules. And this is very confusing to look at. Now that I'm pretty much done with all these extra lines that I drew in there for laying out where stuff's gonna be, I'm just gonna paint over those with the brown. So I cleaned up all this over here. We're just taking a brush and just coming down through it. The bleed out of the tape. So I'm going to paint out the lines that I don't need, and then I'm going to start taping for where the road is going to be, and then mask it, and then I'm going to try to get the airbrush out. But I'm only going to do 1 color on it. I'm only going to do black initially till I get all the buildings in place, because I'm running out of stuff to do because I've ordered up all the buildings, and it seems like people like to sit around and not put it in the mail when you get stuff from eBay for like a week. And then they put it in the mail, and then it takes another 9 days to get here. So I'm going to clean up this top, and I'm going to make it look a little bit more like you can tell what's going on. Hey, it's been a few days, but let me show you guys what it looks like right now. Some of the buildings have been coming in, and I had a lot of them already. I've decided that I want to add these Center Street buildings right here that came from the $1 club layout, because I've got a ton of them, and they're Tyco. They're branded Tyco. The road is put in just like it would be But I'm waiting because I need the buildings to come in so I can do the parking lots correctly. This one just showed up yesterday. This one, these are in the right place according to the plans. I accidentally ordered that one because it said freight station on it and I ordered the wrong freight station. That's fine because I got Tyco stuff. All Tyco, everything. Nothing is wired up yet though. Because I'm going to show you guys how to wire it up in the next edition of this video right here. This has got old school block control in it, and it claims that it could run up to 4 locomotives at a time. Well, we'll see what that's about. I got all my electrical components showing up. More will be showing up here, so I should be able to knock it out here next week. Want to thank all the 33%ers for hanging out with me till the very end of the video. Our classic model of the week, her name is Brooke Bundy. She was in that movie Fire Creek. Fire Creek. What the heck? With James Stewart and Henry Fonda. One of them old classic westerns there. Yesterday was Saturday. We had our first meeting of the local railroad fellers over here that I've been chatting to one at a time. Met up at the Greasy Spoon and got to know each other and had a great time. Everybody that did show up loved it. And we're allowed to come back to that particular restaurant bar because we weren't that rowdy at all. That's kind of a bonus right there for sure. But I do got something that I want to do to play me off, to finish up the video with. You guys remember this one right here? It's the old dead rail with Blue Nami in it. I put a UP shell on it because UP. There ain't a single wire on this layout. That ain't gonna stop us though because we've got dead rail Blue Nami. Wish I could have more light shining on it. Two weeks, we got trains running on it already. Absolutely loving it. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.